There are alleged to be over 400 different breeds of dog in the world today. And some of those dogs, but not all, have been recognised by the UK Kennel Club. The ones that have been recognised are put into 7 different groups. And we're going to talk now a little bit about each individual breed of dog that comes from those individual groups. The first of the groups is the Hound Group. Now, these were in fact the first hunting dogs, and they use either sight or speed, or a combination of both, to pull down their prey. So these dogs can in fact be quite highly prey driven. What makes a good hound is its degree of prey drive, and a hound with high prey drive will make an excellent hunting dog. If you intend to buy a dog from the Hound Group, please be aware that these dogs do have a propensity to wander. And if your dog has got a particularly high prey drive, it could well get involved in chasing domestic animals, cats, other small dogs, somebody's rabbits, whatever. So be aware of this before you buy a hound. The next group is the Gundog, and by far and away the most popular breed of Gundog in the UK is the Retriever. And the Retriever is used to retrieve birds or other animals that have been brought down by its owner. The next breed of Gundog is the Spaniel. The Spaniels are not necessarily retrievers. Generally what they used to do is put into thick cover, gorse, into bushes, to scare the birds up in the air, where they can be dispatched by their owner. And the third type is the Pointer. Now the Pointer is quite unusual in as much as it doesn't do anything other than, when it spots prey, it freezes and points in the direction of the prey. This in early times allowed hunters to net the prey, but these days the prey will generally be dispatched. Pointers can be trained to retrieve, but this is a bit hit and miss. Gundogs need lots of mental stimulation and lots of physical exercise to prevent the development of inappropriate behaviours. The next group we have is the Terrier Group. Now the Terrier Group initially was any dog of any size and any shape that could be used to kill vermin, which was prolific in the towns and cities in Victorian England. Initially, the success of a terrier was simply based on its high prey drive and its ability to dispatch as much vermin as it possibly could in one outing. By definition, this meant that the terrier had to be fearless. And when breeding these dogs, if there was any sign of timidity in the individual dog, this dog was not used for breeding. So eventually, these dogs became simply highly aggressive. Now, the problem comes today when people buy a terrier and seem to think because they're a small dog, it won't cause them any problems. Small terriers can be highly driven, highly motivated, and potentially aggressive. The next group is the working group. Now, this is a group of dogs that generally are larger breeds and not used for their original purpose. These are large, powerful dogs. Some examples of this breed are the Alaskan Malamute, the Bouvier de Flandres, the Doge de Bordeaux. Their similarity is their size and their power. If you're going to buy a dog from the working group, be aware that because they are not necessarily aggressive, they're not necessarily more aggressive than any other breed. However, because of their sheer size and power, they need to be taken seriously. The next group of dogs that we're going to talk about is the utility group. And again, similar to the working group, the utility group comprises a whole bunch of dogs that don't easily fit into any of the other categories. The sheer variety of dogs in this group precludes any way to determine any similarities between drive and motivation. They're all different. If you were to purchase a dog from the utility group, you have to understand, because of the diversity of breeds, to be successful, you will have to study the individual breed in question to find out exactly what that dog was bred for, because there is very little similarity in behaviour other than normal canine behaviour. There is very little similarity between the drive and motivation of, shall we say, a Mexican hairless dog and a French poodle. Purchasing dogs from this group requires a lot more research. This group deals with any dog that is currently used for herding normally cloven-hoofed animals, and these generally are border collies, Australian sheepdogs, Belgian Malinois, and indeed corgis have been used to herd. Frustration through boredom can be devastating for dogs that come from this group of dogs. They need masses of mental stimulation and masses of physical exercise to ensure that they remain calm and balanced. The final group is the toy group, and continued research into toy breeds is now beginning to suggest that these little dogs were not created by the wealthy Victorians in the early part of the 20th century. Their DNA, in certain cases, suggests that they go back at least 12,000 years. And some toy breeds have a distinct DNA profile which matches exactly the DNA of the grey wolf, which was the predecessor of all companion dogs. As a toy or a miniature breed, they are generally bred as a companion, or sometimes considered to be or called a lap dog. However, remember that they may be small, but they are still dogs, and as such, they will always display normal canine behaviour, which combines either appropriate or inappropriate behaviour. Just because they're small doesn't mean to say they won't make mistakes. The importance of what I consider to be this little chat is that I get people coming to me with purebred dogs. And when I start to discuss the breed and the breed-specific behaviour, they say to me, oh no, this is not a working dog. This is a pet. And the problem with that is that nobody told the dog. So, a Cocker Spaniel is a working dog, highly driven, highly motivated. A Border Terrier is a working dog, can be highly aggressive, highly driven, highly motivated. A Border Collie is highly motivated and highly driven. And finally, the Springer Spaniel. A Springer Spaniel simply works at 100 miles an hour. And if you can't keep up with the dog, you'll lose control.